Imagine waking up 5 years from now, seeing Bitcoin at $500,000, and realizing you could have invested when it was just $93,000. The opportunity of a lifetime is here, and if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss out on one of the biggest wealth transfers in history. This is your chance to turn a small investment into millions. Let me show you how Bitcoin can change your life. 20 facts about Bitcoin, BTC, and its wealth building potential. 1. Bitcoin's creation. Bitcoin was created in 2009 by an anonymous figure known as Satoshi Nakamoto. It was designed as a decentralized, peer-to-peer currency to bypass traditional banks. 2. Limited supply, 21 million. Bitcoin is capped at 21 million coins, ensuring scarcity. Unlike the dollar, which can be printed endlessly, Bitcoin's limited supply creates long-term value and demand. 3. The halving, a key event. Every 4 years, Bitcoin undergoes a halving, cutting the rewards miners receive in half. 2012 halving, Bitcoin surged from $12 to $1,000. 2016 halving, Bitcoin climbed from $650 to nearly $20,000 in 2017. 2020 halving, Bitcoin jumped from $8,000 to $69,000 by 2021. 2024 halving, April, analysts expect Bitcoin to reach $100,000 by the end of 2024, with explosive growth into 2025. 4. Bitcoin's explosive growth. In just 1 year, Bitcoin has grown from $13,000 in November 2023 to $93,000 in November 2024. Experts predict it will surpass $120,000 to $200,000 in 2025 after the next halving. 5. Why Bitcoin outperforms the dollar. The US dollar loses value over time due to inflation. Bitcoin, however, is deflationary. Its limited supply means its value increases as demand grows, making it a better store of wealth. 6. Wealth creation from Bitcoin. Early adopters have become millionaires. Someone who bought Bitcoin at $1 in 2010 now holds $93,000 per coin. A $10,000 investment in Bitcoin at $13,000 last year would now be worth over $71,000. 7. Institutional adoption is growing. Companies like Tesla, MicroStrategy, and Block have invested billions into Bitcoin. Their trust in Bitcoin's future is a sign of its growing acceptance as a mainstream asset. 8. Bitcoin halving drives scarcity. The 2024 halving will reduce the supply of new Bitcoin entering circulation, driving prices higher as demand outstrips supply. Analysts predict massive growth. Bitcoin is expected to hit $100,000 by late 2024. Predictions for 2025 to 2030 see Bitcoin surpassing $500,000 to $1 million due to institutional adoption and global demand. 10. Bitcoin is digital gold. Bitcoin is called digital gold because it's a hedge against inflation. Unlike physical gold, Bitcoin is easier to store, transfer, and divide. 11. Adoption is exploding. With over 420 million crypto holders worldwide, Bitcoin adoption is growing rapidly in countries with unstable fiat currencies. 12. Bitcoin is borderless. Unlike banks, Bitcoin is available 24/7, anywhere in the world, making it ideal for a global, connected economy. 13. Millennials and Gen Z love Bitcoin. Young investors trust Bitcoin more than traditional assets like gold or real estate. They see it as a way to build wealth in the digital age. 14. Timing is everything. Historically, Bitcoin's biggest price surges occur 12 to 18 months after a halving. Investing before April 2024 could mean huge returns by 2025. 15. Fixed supply means higher prices. With only 1.5 million Bitcoins left to mine, demand will far exceed supply, driving prices higher and creating millionaire investors. 16. A hedge against inflation. As central banks print money, inflation erodes the value of fiat currencies. Bitcoin's fixed supply protects against this loss of value. 17. A $1 million Bitcoin. Some experts predict Bitcoin could reach $1 million by 2030, driven by shrinking supply and increasing adoption. 18. Fractional investing makes it accessible. You don't need to buy a whole Bitcoin. Apps like Cash App and Coinbase let you invest as little as $10 in Bitcoin. 19. Bitcoin is the future of finance. With its integration into payment systems like Visa, PayPal, and decentralized finance, DeFi, Bitcoin is revolutionizing global finance. 20. Missing out could be costly. Imagine looking back in 2028, seeing Bitcoin at $500,000, and wishing you had invested when it was under $100,000. The best time to act is now. Why Bitcoin is the opportunity of a generation. Bitcoin's limited supply, explosive growth, and institutional adoption make it a once-in-a-lifetime investment. For young people, even a small investment now could lead to financial freedom in 5 to 10 years. The next halving in 2024 will trigger another wave of wealth creation. Don't miss your chance to be part of it. Start now. The clock is ticking. Here's an explanation of why Bitcoin will give you more spending power than the US dollar, with practical examples for clarity. 1. Inflation erodes the US dollar. The US dollar is controlled by governments and central banks, which can print more money at any time. This causes inflation, meaning the purchasing power of your dollar decreases over time. For example, in 2000, you could buy a gallon of milk for $2.79. Today, that same gallon costs over $4. Inflation has reduced your dollar's buying power. If you saved $10,000 in cash in 2000, it would only buy about $6,000 worth of goods today. 2. Bitcoin's deflationary nature. Bitcoin is designed to be deflationary, meaning its value increases as demand rises and supply remains limited. Unlike the dollar, only 21 million Bitcoins will ever exist. Governments and institutions can't print more of it. As adoption grows and supply shrinks, especially after halvings, Bitcoin's value increases, giving you more spending power over time. 3. Real-world example, Bitcoin versus dollar value growth. If you held $1,000 in cash last year, it would still be $1,000 today, but its purchasing power would have decreased due to inflation. If you held $1,000 worth of Bitcoin last year, when it was $13,000 per coin, that Bitcoin would now be worth roughly $7,150 today, at $93,000 per coin. Practical impact. With $1,000 in cash, you buy fewer groceries, gas, or goods than last year. With Bitcoin, your purchasing power has multiplied, allowing you to buy far more today than a year ago. 4. Bitcoin preserves and grows wealth. Inflation eats away at savings stored in dollars. For example, a $100,000 savings account today would lose approximately $10,000 in purchasing power over 5 years with 2% inflation. In contrast, Bitcoin historically outpaces inflation. A $100,000 Bitcoin investment in 2019 would now be worth over $1 million. 5. Scarcity creates value. The dollar is abundant and endlessly produced, while Bitcoin is scarce and finite. This scarcity increases Bitcoin's demand and value, which directly enhances your spending power. Practical example, owning 0.1 Bitcoin today, $9,300, could be worth $50,000 or more in 5 years due to its scarcity. 6. Global examples, countries turning to Bitcoin. Countries experiencing hyperinflation, like Venezuela, have seen their fiat currencies lose nearly all value. People in these countries are turning to Bitcoin because it holds its value even when local currencies collapse. For example, in 2017, Venezuelans used Bitcoin to buy groceries and medicine when their local bolivar became worthless. 7. Bitcoin's growing adoption. Bitcoin is increasingly being accepted for payments worldwide. You can use Bitcoin to buy goods and services on platforms like PayPal and Microsoft. Some employees are even choosing to be paid in Bitcoin instead of dollars, knowing it will grow in value over time. 8. Predictable growth versus unpredictable decline. The dollar's value is tied to economic policies and government decisions, which are often unpredictable. Bitcoin's growth is tied to mathematics and code. It's predictable and governed by supply and demand. Practical comparison. In 10 years, $1,000 in dollars may buy 20% less due to inflation. In 10 years, $1,000 in Bitcoin could be worth $10,000 or more, buying exponentially more goods and services. 9. What this means for you. As inflation continues to rise, keeping wealth in dollars means losing spending power every year. Holding Bitcoin gives you the potential to increase your purchasing power as its value grows, especially in a world where fiat currencies are losing trust. 10. Practical takeaway. Let's say you invest $10,000 today. In dollars, inflation could reduce its buying power to $9,000 or less in 5 years. In Bitcoin, that $10,000 could grow to $50,000 or more, giving you far greater spending power and financial freedom. Conclusion. Bitcoin is the ultimate hedge against inflation, giving you more spending power over time compared to the dollar. Its limited supply, deflationary nature, and global adoption make it the best way to preserve and grow your wealth in today's economy. Act now, because waiting means losing both time and opportunity.